From sunny Southern California, we bring you Meet Bridget, a podcast for building confident communication and female badassery. We spotlight women who have bridged the gaps in their lives by building strong relationships and speaking their teenage dreams into reality.
Bring it on, baby!
Fasten your seatbelt.
Welcome back to Meet Bridget Season 5. I'm Keshiia Rosenberg, and I co-host this show alongside my best friend and Bridget's CEO, Asha Gabriel. Our show is a giant library of career and life path options for young women to relate to by sharing the honest and unfiltered teenage stories of a diverse array of successful women. We believe confidence starts with self-trust and grows through authentic community. Tapping back into our formative years makes this Meet Bridget community a place where women of all ages and stages can connect on common ground. So welcome to a little unconventional but very cool and exciting nighttime hang with Asha and I. Are you ready for this, Ashi?
Yeah, we were just talking about, we've been just cranking out these interviews, and I think it's so fun to peel back the curtain a little bit on just like really the foundation of this whole thing is Keshiia and I and our best friendship that has formed, where it's like it was there from the start, but really like we've become best friends by doing this thing together. So we were like, let's just have a relaxed, like a Hangtime episode. And, we're always interviewing other people. I pulled out these I actually have a few sets of these because I'm that kind of person. I'd love to have like conversation starters. I have a couple. This one is We're Not Really Strangers, which was started by this girl, Corrine, who I used to model with. And now these are like literally everywhere. I heard that this is how Selena Gomez and Benny like fell in love.
Really? Oh my, I love them. I have Benny Blanco's cookbook, and we make his Euro meat recipe probably once a week. It's actually amazing. Yeah, it's incredible.
And this one is it's by a company called Best Self, and they have a bunch. There's one that's like for intimate relationships. There's one that's like for brainstorming, like writing and stuff. But this is a fun one that I pull out at like little small group hangs, and it has some good conversation starters. So I will be the card master, and then we'll just kind of both answer them and see what happens.
Yes. And full disclosure, Asha promised that we were just going to go for it. Yeah. So there is no scripting to this.
This is a zero script episode.
Yep.
Expect to get a little unhinged.
Yep.
Pretty honest. And yeah, we'll see what
even more unhinged than usual.
I feel like we're pretty hinged during our interviews.
No, definitely during our interviews, but with each other.
Yeah. Well, here you go. The behind the scenes. All right. So am I picking from the front of the deck or the middle of the deck?
Ooh, this is a good one. Let's try the middle to start.
Okay. They're all different colors, so I think there's like different categories. Okay. Number 1, what's your best scar story?
Oh. This is at the risk of being so cheesy because it's sort of a love-hate relationship. I think my best scar story are my stretch marks. Like, I think those count as scars. And I have so many from Jude because despite like doing all the things during my pregnancy, like, which I didn't have a single stretch mark until literally the very last week of pregnancy, Jude's head, like, it's called, what's it called? Like it engaged.
Yeah, engages.
Yeah.
So they say when the baby drops, basically.
Yeah. So he dropped like so suddenly 4 weeks before he was due. And so like I wasn't ready for it. My body
was when they like put him in the second little slot. It's like
and it was just like all of a sudden just like all these like silver tiger stripes on my tummy. And so I think that's my best scar story because now I have Jude and he's my little pup. He's the best.
Weird thing, like I had always heard of stretch marks, but then I felt like I had never seen them on anybody. And then when I finally like saw them, and I have some on my booty actually because I've been like
Yeah.
growing my booty, but they're
Yeah.
they're so subtle. I'm like, why do people make such a big deal about these? I've seen also very much more
Yeah.
severe stretch marks, but I don't know. I think it's kind of like
What are your best? What's your
my
best
best
scar
scar.
story?
Well, I think I could like say the obvious, like my thyroid scar. I feel like I'm really proud of. Well, I'm also proud of the surgeon because you can't even see it anymore. It's literally
Mhm.
like right here.
It was so
But
teeny tiny.
it's tiny. I mean, I was so nervous, and I think my doctor picked up on that. I was scheduled to be married within the year, and I was going in for, a surgery on my actual neck. I also feel
Mhm.
like psychologically, the idea of going under and then having someone like slit my throat basically was what the headspace I was in going into the
Yeah.
surgery was very scary. I was like, what if they accidentally like, just like slice my what is that vein? Like your
The
jugular?
carotids, your
Carotid?
carotids, your jugulars, yeah, they're all I mean,
Yeah.
they're I guess it's so funny because when I think about it, I'm like, wow, those are so far away from this area, but really they're not,
They're not.
like,
One little like
anatomically.
he sneezes or something. Anyways, I mean, I at this point, like I don't have an appendix, I don't have a
Mhm.
thyroid, and I think it's pretty cool that I'm like functioning without a couple body parts. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that scar I'm really proud of. I feel like in a weird way, like I lost that body part, but I feel like from that point forward, I've actually gained more of my voice than I ever had before that. So, to
It's
just get a little
that's a beautiful,
squishy.
beautiful analogy. Yeah, that
Thank
feels squishy.
you. Okay, next card. Okay, would you rather always have gas or always have bad breath?
Oh my God. Probably gas, because at least it's
I think gas
relieving.
too. Yes, but it's like,
Or like
but like
gas
you're
that you
always
can't
having gas?
release.
I don't
Ugh,
know. Both
I
are
don't know.
terrible. I have like a fear. I really have like a fear of bad odor. Just don't
Well, I
ever want
mean,
to breathe.
everybody farts, but like not everybody needs to have bad breath,
Well, like
right?
bad
Because
breath, like at least if you're farting, like you could kind of like mask it or always be outside or something, but like bad breath, like you're never kissing anyone. When you talk to
yeah.
someone, like that's how you're communicating. It's going to be in their face.
Also, okay, I don't know if anyone else thinks like this, but I I was thinking about this earlier today because I'm always cleaning my bathroom counter and like I have a thing like I could never share a toothbrush, like not
Oh,
even with my
no,
husband. I think it's just
never. I think it's
because your mouth
disgusting.
has so much bacteria. And so for me, I'm like bad breath is indicative of like a bacterial like overload
Sure.
right now. Like that's most bad smells, I feel like that smells
Well, they say
like
too, like people that have like really horrible BO, it's because like
yeah.
their
It might be
detox
because I
system
worked in the
stinks.
ER for so long too. Like it's weird
Yeah.
to think about, but maybe my nose is just trained to like sense like fungus and back. It's disgusting, but this is why I'm like so smell averse. Whereas
We're
like
be
every
talking about you're like,
part,
gosh, what a virus coming on.
yeah, I know,
I
seriously.
noticed like Nina's breath was like stinking the other day, and then she literally like got a virus.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, her breath's a little rank. Sorry, Nina." But
yeah.
and then she
Well,
got sick. So that's
10,
that.
10 years from now, she's gonna be like, "Mom, I can't believe
She's like, "Mom, you're a
I was
bitch."
I was listening to some of those early episodes."
You threw me under the bus with your rude. So good. On that note, what's something that you're self-conscious about?
Ooh, I don't know. It depends on the day, really. Like I don't know. It could be anything from like my weight to like oh, here's something like really random, but like because I do my own nails, like if my nails look terrible, I'll be like, that looks really bad. Like that's like a statement against like my own ability to like do
Sorry, cannot relate.
I know. But I
These
mean,
nails,
everything else, it's kind of
yeah,
like it depends on the day. Like some days I'm like, oh, I don't feel so great about being 5 feet tall, or like, but then
yeah.
other days I'm like, it's fine.
I
It
feel I have the
depends.
same. I almost feel like I fluctuate between feeling self-conscious, and then sometimes like I mask it with like overconfidence in that
Hmm.
thing.
Hmm.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like for me, ever since I had my second kid, like my belly button changed,
Hmm.
and like other people have seen my belly button. You've seen my belly button, I'm sure, since then. and like no one's like I mean, I guess they wouldn't really say like, "Oh, your belly button looks weird now," but like my husband's like, "It looks great, it's fine," but like it's different than it was before, so like, and it feels like so so intimate, your belly button. So I'd say that's kind of one that I feel self-conscious about. But then also sometimes I'm like, whatever, I had babies,
Yeah.
like it doesn't look. I mean, I have like I'm strong, so
Yeah.
I don't know, but I
Yeah.
feel
I feel like
I have
it
a weird
changes
not like
every day.
relationship with my belly button.
I love your belly button.
Thank you. I love your nails. Actually, no, I always compliment your nails, so that's almost kind of annoying that you said that. They
Well,
literally
I
always
will
look
tell
so
you there
good.
was one day like because I do them myself, it's like once it's done and
Yeah.
I thought I was going to do like this cool metallic blue thing and I sent a picture to one of my friends and she sent me like a gif of Hades from like Hercules back with like the blue hair and I was like I have to take these off immediately. I hate
Thank
them now.
you. You're like, now I just can't. That's the
Yeah.
one downside to like getting like hard gel or like even just
Yeah.
gel. And you're like, I
Just
hate this now.
takes
Or
a
if it's
long
so annoying.
time.
The worst is like when you're already in the stage of hating your nails and then like someone
Hmm.
compliments you on them and it's kind of like a
Hmm.
not like a
Like, oh.
compliment, but they're just like pointing it out. You're
It's
like,
like
I
Mean
it's fine.
Girls
I
when
already
she's
hate
like,
them.
I love your bracelet.
And you're like, just leave me alone. No one understands. Okay, another card. Ooh, a red one. I think it's spicy. What thing are you most scared to tell your parents?
Hmm. I don't know really.
It feels like a younger me
Yeah,
would
I feel like at
question.
this point I tell my parents everything.
Yeah,
I will say, and we've talked about this before, we're more at the stage, at least I feel like, where my parents don't necessarily need to be parented, but they are getting to the point where I feel and my siblings feel like we need to take care of them more. Like they're both fully independent, like adult human beings that are self-sufficient, but at the same time I'm like you're now doing things that maybe aren't so good for you. Like maybe don't take as many naps and like go for a longer walk. Like not that taking a nap is ever a bad thing, but I just feel like you want to encourage your parents to stay like really active and healthy and there's almost like this role reversal at this stage where all of a sudden I feel like I'm parenting them and obviously they don't want their adult child to parent them at
yeah,
all but you do want the best for them and so sometimes it's not so much a fear as it is like how do I say this or encourage this because I love you and care about you and want you to do these things whilst not offending you and making you feel like I'm being like
yeah,
militant or like that I think that you're incapable kind of thing.
yeah. I feel similarly about that, where it's like it's not that I really don't feel like I don't have anything I'm hiding from my
Hmm.
parents at this stage in my life. And honestly, I don't ever really feel like I even as a teenager, I think that's sort of a second daughter thing, perhaps. Like I didn't feel the pressure to hide things. I already knew I was gonna be like not at the level of like perfection that my sister was perceived to be at. So I was like, here it is, guys, what are you gonna do? But I think at this stage of my life, like I am afraid that, selfishly because I want them around, I feel like I am constantly like giving suggestions of like,
Hmm.
oh, like what did you guys eat for dinner? Or like, how are we keeping active this week? And like forwarding her like
Yeah.
um, exercises for, seniors to do to prevent falls and stuff like that. And I think it's not that I think they know that it comes from love, but my
Yeah.
fear is that they see it as nagging or they see it as like
Hmm.
me being critical of them versus me being like, I love you so much that I like really need you to be
Yeah.
healthy around.
Yeah. Actually, there
I
is,
fear of
I
being
don't know if
misunderstood with
this has
them.
ever happened to you, but um my mom, like when she watches Jude or like when my grandparents, when my parents watch my son, sometimes they do things that I wouldn't necessarily do. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily give him so much candy during the day.
Yeah.
Um but then I like feel so bad because they're like, where is grandparent? You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
that's like another area where I'm just kind of like I kind of have to pick and choose my battles because he's with the best possible people he could be with, and they love him and would make sure he's safe in all of the important ways.
Yeah.
So that's another funny thing. But at this stage, I don't really feel scared about
Yeah.
telling them any, like, I don't have any secrets from them.
I think there's such a freedom in that too. Like I really genuinely feel like my parents are like some of my very closest friends, obviously,
Mhm.
and that's also kind of like a different stage to be in, to
Mhm.
like to have such an honest relationship with our parents. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
right, like let's do this one is in the random category. So there's categories. Have you had your 15 minutes of fame yet?
I think we're working on it.
I think we're happening, right, guys?
We're also aiming for longevity. We're not just looking for 15 minutes.
No, I also don't really feel like I think when I was really little, maybe it was because I grew up in a very small town. I like thought for a long time that I wanted to be famous for something.
Mhm.
And now at this point, like I really see the appeal of like a slow, impactful burn more than like
Mhm.
a big splash. You know what I mean? I'm like, it doesn't even have to be a huge amount of people, but if I impact, a number of people in a deeper, more consistent way, I feel like that's more valuable than just being known by everybody for one thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel
I
like that's
also
something that's really changed.
I get so nervous being like the center of attention too. I've never been like like I don't know. It's maybe it's performance anxiety. Like I don't mind being like public speaking and things like that, but like when it comes to so no, I guess it wouldn't be performance anxiety. But like on my birthday, if somebody's like happy birthday, like give a speech or like and that's when I feel like, "Oh, I don't know." So I don't know if I would ever like truly at this stage want to be like famous per se. I
Yeah, I
want to
think
do
that's
something really great.
yeah, I feel like it would have to be something where I really could control sort of
Mhm.
my exposure. Where like I always like literally I love Barbara Walters and
Mhm.
like that is a career where I'm like, okay, like did we know anything about her personal life, her family life? No, like no one was really fixating on that, but everybody knew who she was, because she was such a good interviewer. Like I'm sure now we all there's the biographies and stuff, but like
Yeah.
that the focus, but like I'm a person that would really have a hard time if I was like grocery shopping and someone like bombarded me outside a grocery store, or like if I was in a really nice dinner with my husband and someone tried to just come up to take a picture or something. Like that kind of thing would really I think a lot of people handle those situations with a lot of grace, and I just don't know if I would have grace in those situations. I just need a separate. I actually love being the center of attention, especially if it's something that's like, it's my show, like I love that setting, but I like to also be able to be like, and now I'm off. Like
Yeah.
take a bow
Yeah.
in the exit stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I need that. But yeah, 15 minutes. Whatever. Let's
Can't get
see.
much done in 50. Well, actually you can, but
You can. So
but
would you okay. This is a would you rather. Would you rather live in an apartment in the city or a mansion in the country?
oh, for sure in the country.
No
I would live
brainer.
in yeah. I
I'd
just
rather live in in an apartment in the country.
yeah. That's what I was
I
gonna say, but then I was like, well,
well,
be too
maybe
many
not actually.
people in
We'll
the
keep the
building
mansion.
with me.
I just don't want to be in an apartment anymore, but maybe that's because I
I
don't.
yeah, I just need to be in my own space. I need to not
Yes.
sometimes I need to not see people for a while. Like even my husband, I love him so much, but like sometimes I just need to lay down and like daydream and write and like do all the
Yes.
creative things and then yeah.
Yeah,
And
I feel
what
like
better
there's
place to do
also
it than
in the
outside?
country, right? Or like
Mhm.
outsideness. I also feel like so I had a morning that was one of those mornings where it was just I don't know if this ever happens to you, but when like a number of things like have to be canceled, go wrong,
Mhm.
like just like I literally poured like a bottle of almond milk on myself because I thought the
Yeah.
top was on and I shook it all over. It was like literally like in my freshly washed hair. Several things got canceled and moved around. Just like it was literally a series of unfortunate events this
Yeah.
morning, and I had to just sit down and I was like, okay, we are clearing the slate.
Mhm.
Like I am tossing the first half of this day, and it's okay for like for a day to be not as I planned.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes like the idea of just being in the country or at least having like the privacy to sort of like have a flop of a day
Yeah.
is kind of nice when you are outside of the flopping part. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. No, it totally does. I also just love the idea of being able to like go outside and like fly a kite. Just like
Mm,
randomly, like, oh, what are you doing today? I'm gonna go run and fly a kite, like Charlie
yeah.
Brown style with Jude, like run across a field.
Aw,
And
he probably loves a kite.
he does. He does. He's not figured out how
He's-
to get it up there yet, but
It's it's honestly really hard. I don't think I've figured it out figured out how to
it's
always get it up here,
well, oh boy.
for being honest.
Not in 15 minutes. Just
Exactly. Okay,
kidding. Um,
let's
okay.
see. Let's get a random card. What's the last random thing that made you smile?
Probably like 30 seconds ago talking.
And like just
No.
literally you seeing your
Yeah.
face.
No.
Honestly, next. Because
Yeah.
it's like literally, I feel like even when we're just on the phone, I just have a crazy smile on my face. Like
Mhm.
Andrew literally will walk into the room, if we're on like a meeting call or whatever, and he'll like know that I'm talking to you just by
Oh,
smiling. So
same with
I hope
Kev.
yeah. Oh, what's your dream job if money didn't matter? I agree with that. I think that's like literally like the promise we made to each other was like, well,
Yeah.
this is like the thing,
Yeah.
you know, it just feels right. And I think that's why we just like continue doing it.
Yeah. I think just being in a space where you can continue to create community. I mean, I love my art. I love creating, and but it all like fits together. It's
Yeah.
it's all like a breathing entity for me.
I also just feel like this is kind of like, how we were talking about like, oh, being the star, not being the star,
Hmm.
or wanting the attention. I feel like this is my favorite part of being like involved in the center of attention is when we're able to like put the spotlight on our guests.
Yes.
And like we've had a number of guests now that have come back to us and they're like, gosh, like I've never shared that part of my story and I
Hmm.
listened and it actually sounded really good,
Hmm.
or like you made me feel so comfortable and like I really love my episode and like that is like such an incredible compliment. And then like people we've interviewed meet each other, like that just feels so being able to not just be in the light, but like be like broadening the light for
Yeah.
like this entire community is just like
Connecting
it's just
people, it feels
yeah,
so good.
yeah. Mm. All right, let's see what's back here. A little. In what way do you feel your child? In what way do you feel your childhood was happier than other people's?
Ooh, that is so on theme.
Mm,
Um, well, that's an interesting question. Um, I feel like one of the things that was really happy about my early childhood is that I have a gigantic family. So my mom's the third of 8 kids, and each of her siblings had multiple children. And so growing up, there were at least 10 of us at my grandparents' house at any given time. And so it was a very like chaotic fun. We used to call it Grand Central Station because all the parents were working. So like moms and dads were going in and out, aunts and uncles were going in and out, and my grandparents were the ones watching us. But there would just be like all these toddlers and then some slightly older kids and like, kids who were like around like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. But I just remember always being surrounded by like my best friends all the time, which was really fun. And yeah, I think that was very joyful. It's still such a joyful thing because me and my 17 closest cousins are all like still very,
so
yeah,
rad.
we have such a tight um, relationship, which is really nice.
I love that.
Mhm.
I think that like I have similar feelings from like my memories of going. My dad is one of 7,
Mhm.
so every Christmas we would like fly to Indiana and like do this big Christmas celebration that everybody and all their families
Yeah.
would go to in the basement of my grandparents' very
Oh,
small
it's
house
so
in Indiana.
fun.
And that was just kind of a given. Like the biggest travel events were always family events for us. Like we didn't do a lot of like, oh, we're going to like Hawaii for spring break, or like,
Mhm.
we did that at one point, but we did a lot of like national parks trips with my grandparents, and we got together for a lot of like family holidays. And like now that have seen other families, I realize that like my family is just very, very obsessed with one another. Like
Mhm.
we really love to like max out as much time as we can get together. Like that, I realize that isn't really a given with every family. Like we just really want to be together all the time. And I feel like that came from my parents and their relationship. Like my parents just adore each other. And I think
Mhm.
that kind of like trickled into our family too.
Yeah.
It's not really sandwiched in there
Maybe
with love.
that's why we're so obsessed with each other and each other's families too.
Yes, because I think there's just like there's a very particular feeling of being
Mhm.
kind of like when you're young and you just feel a belonging in like a very big
Mhm.
group of people in some way. It just really feels like um, special. So I want to recreate that for my kids in whatever way I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
actually
let's
just
meet at my house. Come on
anec
over.
yeah. I think anecdotally too, just having like your core group of people be your family, which not everyone has, so it's such a huge blessing. But like even in my most even in my like most awkward, like darkest days of like teenage years and preteen years, or like, moments where I was getting bullied, I think about how, and I didn't intend to be resilient, but I was, and I adapted to like moving multiple times. And I think like just knowing that I had like all these cousins who we'd write each other letters. We didn't have cell phones and stuff, but like I
Yeah.
never was like
Wow.
truly alone.
Yeah.
So maybe that helped. Maybe that's part of the reason. Like you can adapt if you know you have like a home base.
Yeah. I think that like a lot of times as like especially like for me it was like middle school where I feel like a lot of that like lostness was
Hmm.
happening, or just like I just felt like that was like the beginning of like the hardest time for me in my like teen years. But I never felt, even when I felt a little bit like lost in the settings of maybe school and peers and all of that, and even when I was like fighting with my family, I still felt like a sense of belonging there. And I think
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
such a privilege and a blessing.
Again, community.
Yeah, you create your belonging. I love it. Let's see, random. Which celebrity do you shamelessly follow in the news?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say in the nude. I was like, I can't say.
I know. Um,
um, I don't know. Everything is so out there now. I mean, there's
I know,
so
I like you don't
many.
really, I almost feel like you have to like make an effort to not
Yeah.
be followed by celebrity news.
I mean, like
I feel like
I
even if I don't really care about something or I'm not seeking it out, like it just like it shows up in front of me.
yeah. Like I'm pretty sure okay, so I'm pretty sure I follow Kylie Jenner, and like a
Uh-huh.
lot of people are obsessed, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I follow her. Either that or the algorithm will if I'm not, I'm sure the algorithm
You
will
are
tell me
now.
to. But I mean, she's one probably that I'm like, I guess I follow her, but I don't know. I don't think there's anyone that
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with
I
that.
mean, I feel like everyone kind of follows Taylor Swift, but like now she's kind of
Yeah,
quiet. She's just like happy, but I feel like that kind of like news
yeah,
always pops out.
yeah.
No,
I'm trying to think. Maybe I'll put a pin in it. I don't know.
if it comes to us.
Hmm.
Would you rather hear the good news or the bad news first?
The bad news. I need to
Yeah, I
rip
agree.
the
Like I want
band-aid
to
off.
end on a good note
Yeah, yeah.
too. Oh, see that, but for opposite reasons. You're like you're like rip the band off, and I'm like, let's at least like make sure we end the conversation with something good.
I mean, that's part of it too. I
Yeah.
also just like, I'd rather like get through the painful part of something first.
Mm.
Just that way I know it's done.
I kind of feel that way about like attacking my list of things I have
Mhm.
to do. We were actually talking about this on one of our working calls about like um I think it was last week. I like had a few things on my to-do list that were like big hairy problems that like
Mhm.
I didn't know how to address. I knew they were going to take a long time, be really time consuming, and I just like that week I just had the motivation to just like I'm just going to do those things, and it felt literally like a weight was just
Mhm.
lifted off my shoulders because I'd been trudging around with these things like
Yeah.
just I'm like, "Ugh, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week," and it just like I wasn't in the
Yeah.
headspace to do it, but um like just addressing the hard things
Yeah.
first.
My dad
So much
used
about
to say
anger.
this
He's very
thing
similar.
too. Um, he used to say like something along the lines of like if it makes you uncomfortable or like the uncomfortable thing is probably the right thing or the thing you should be doing. Obviously, that's not always the case. Like sometimes your gut tells you something's wrong and it's truly
Yeah,
wrong. But
exactly.
I what he meant is like, sometimes when you're faced with a set of challenges, like a lot of times it feels so uncomfortable because you can do it or you should push yourself to do it. And I find um in a similar vein of like what we're talking about now, like if you
Mhm.
just push through it, you usually emerge better for it. Like I can't say there's something we haven't that hasn't been figure outable. Very
Yeah, well,
uncomfortable, very tough, but like
I think it's like after you do that thing that seemed really
mhm,
hard, like paying attention to like how you feel after it's done and
mhm,
like logging that, because then it's like, okay, that's in a certain category of hard thing or
mhm,
uncomfortable things, where there's also uncomfortable things where you're like, oh, I'm gonna just do that uncomfortable thing, and it's like, oh, that was now I feel icky, and
mhm.
like I think the goal is to just like those that falls in a different category, and you just figure out
It's
not
it's all a learning process.
yeah. Okay, ready for another one? What are these green ones? Oh, let's see. Oh, life, life. That's a good one. What is one family tradition you would like to carry on in the future?
Oh, I thought about this one a lot in this past year because my grandma, my dad's mom, passed away last May, and she and I were very, very close. And she was a Holocaust survivor. She fled Germany with her family as a young girl. And, at that time, you had to go through different countries, and eventually she ended up in Manhattan. But so my dad is Jewish, and we've always celebrated like the big holidays. And um, I've talked about this to a couple like friends and family members like in the Jewish community, and I'm like, I've always had guilt, one, because my dad adopted me. He and my mom married when I was young, and he adopted me from her first marriage. And so there's been that little piece of guilt, like, oh, I can't say. But on the other hand, and then there's also this portion where people say that like you're not Jewish unless the mom, like unless your mother was Jewish, and my mom is a Filipino immigrant. Um, but the one beautiful thing I'd really like to carry on, especially for Jude, is celebrating Passover and celebrating Hanukkah and like passing on those traditions and teaching him the stories um, and I guess not just the Jewish holidays. My mom was raised Roman Catholic, which
Mhm.
there are some not great things about every religion. Um, but I do want to explore different world religions and like the history with it be, and spirituality and just kind of figure out where he wants to land. But I think it's important to still, you know, take him down that path. And I think that's part of building a tradition and adjusting it to fit, like, as your family gets older and bigger.
I think that like that mixed exposure too is such a gift to a child. I think that, my siblings and I really agree that like my mom grew up Hindu and my dad grew up
Mhm.
Irish Catholic. And the way they kind of raised us was, yeah, they were like, we were exposed to everything.
Mhm.
They weren't, neither of them was really practicing in
Mhm.
those religions by the time they got married. But they got married, they had like a white dress, wedding. And then they also had an Indian wedding. And Archie and I both did, both weddings too. I think that it's just such a gift to be able to see even within your own family, that like different cultures operate differently,
Mm-hmm.
and you can exist. Like sometimes it is a little bit gray area, and it's like, okay, well, which am I? I'm not really fully like I remember like in my business school there was like a group text of all like the Indian kids at Marshall,
Mm-hmm.
and like I wasn't included, which I'm like, okay, fine. Like you wouldn't look at me and be like, yeah, Indian girl, include her. But then like I asked it. Oh my god, no. I asked to be included,
Yeah.
and so like, why? And I was like, because I'm half Indian. They're like, oh, this is for like Indian kids. I'm like, and I literally looked at them and they're like, okay, I'll add you. There was like that hesitation. So I know that there's gonna be that like for mixed kids, like, okay, I'm not really considered like part of
Yeah.
anything
Either.
completely, but
Mm-hmm.
it really is kind of to be able to exist and be like, I don't have to be all in on anything necessarily. I can just be, I think is like a really cool perspective to have for
Yeah.
a child. I think for my tradition, I don't know if I can carry this forward because I just don't think anyone would have the same effect as my dad did. But my dad, I think it was pretty much every Sunday, would read um, books to us, like big books. So it started with like the Roald Dahl books, like
Mm-hmm.
he did the BFG and the um, James and the Giant Peach and stuff, and then it went into like all the Harry Potter books, all the Lord of the Rings books, and we'd like sit as a family and like read a chapter book, and we'd all just like kind of lay out in the living room, and it feels like thinking about that, it feels very like old times, like you're all just like laid out in the parlors,
Yeah.
father read it. But like there was something so calming about listening to his voice and all the different characters and everything. And um if my children and husband will have it, I would love to like have that kind of time reading to my family too.
When your dad read, were you guys like just literally tuned in listening, or were you like doing puzzles or like doodling or?
Honestly, we're pretty tuned in, and I think
Yeah.
that that's like I don't know if I could have that kind of power over my family, but he just has this. Before he became a doctor, he was in school for like radio. He
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be like a radio personality,
Oh my God,
and he
he has a
has this
great radio voice.
great voice. Like, and if they say that as like a
Yeah.
oh, you got a voice for radio
Yeah.
or a face for radio or whatever. He's also very handsome, but
Yeah.
has a great voice, and like would do all the different character voices. Like he would learn like if there were like the songs in Lord of the Rings, like he would like sing them. He really was just it was like watching a movie listening to him read, which I think was just one of the best gifts he's ever given us.
That is so wonderful. That's so
Yeah,
wonderful. I love reading with my
gotta
son.
practice a little
I
bit.
I know. Maybe we can just get Craig to like host a Sunday Zoom and I'll
Well, we've
invite
been telling
myself.
him, he literally I'm like, "Dad, you gotta just start like, we gotta get you in the audiobook space." So anyone
Yeah.
out there listening, if you are in whatever audiobook voiceover representation and you want a guy with like a killer
Yeah.
storybook voice, I got him. We're like, I think that's the second act. Gotta record him.
We
Experiences.
we
That's a
love
fun
a
one,
second act.
right? How did you meet your best friend? It doesn't have to be me. You can pick a
I think we've told this story. I'm
different.
pretty sure we met at Archna's at like a
Arch
Christmas.
is like a little get together
Yeah,
party.
like a little wine and cheese. When
Why
they
do I remember like sitting on the floor with you? Were we sitting on the floor talking at some point?
This was like when we were all apartment living
Yeah,
and they had like a there wasn't ample seating, I will say. So
yeah.
that might be
The floor
yeah.
memory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe that was just like symbolically how I felt grounded with you.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. We just connected. The best was like you were literally working like night shifts at the hospitals,
Mm.
and like after I told you about Meet Bridget, like you would meet up with me during the day, which is like time, precious time that you could have been sleeping to like work on this stuff with me. And I was like, damn, what a real one.
Who needs sleep? I mean, I do now, but
Me,
I
desperately.
didn't need it then. I don't God, I can't even
Oh,
imagine.
I know our 20s, right? It's like,
Yeah,
what was that like? Would you rather win a Grammy or an Oscar?
an Oscar. Wait.
An Oscar.
Yeah, an Oscar.
Grammys are music.
Yeah, No,
Oh,
I feel
oh,
like I love performing arts, so even though I said I don't like being the center of attention, I like I love acting. I would love to be in a play or in a movie, and that's different because you don't necessarily like have everybody standing right there staring at you kind of thing.
yeah. I don't know, maybe either. Because like if it were a Grammy, I wouldn't want to have like a pop hit. Like I would want to have like a Billie Eilish like soul
Yeah.
song, like something that just like makes people
I
cry
could see
or
you
has
doing
really
like a
incredible
very
lyrics.
cool performance.
But probably an Oscar because like I literally used to watch the Oscars as a kid and I was like, "Ah, that was like my what do they call it? What do the kids call it?
Your Roman Empire?
My Roman Empire was like the Oscars and all the dresses and all the things.
Yeah. Oh, the
Just loved it.
dresses.
So good. Okay, if you could keep three things, only three things from your home, what would you pick and why?
Mm. Um, Probably my passport because it takes a long time to get another
Logic.
one.
Yeah.
I would keep my daughter. She's in a little dove on my nightstand. And honestly, that might be it. I'm sure there's like something else. Oh, probably I'm so sentimental. And not sentimental to the point where I'll keep lots of things, but I have like this is unfair. I would keep a jewelry box where I have both of like something from my grandmother's. Like I have my grandma Margot's wedding ring, like her original wedding ring when she and my grandpa had nothing. And then um, my grandma Jeannie Dina's rosary that she had
Oh,
for years. It was like she was one of those women who just was so devout. She said her rosary every night, which I think takes like 45 minutes or something crazy.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Whether you like follow the beads, like do it
Mhm. Mhm.
real
I used to like fall asleep to it as a
beautiful.
kid. Like I would spend so many nights with her and just like listening to her whisper. It was like it's probably like the
Mhm.
stuff of horror movies for some people. Like, because everything's like so. They always use like a Catholic prayer for like a horror movie, like The Nun or whatever.
I
But
know, why do they always have to do
yeah,
that? I don't know. I just feel like,
it's the
and I say in
uncanny.
many religions, I think that
Yeah.
just like that, as long as it's not at the expense of other people, I think that that kind of commitment to spirituality is really beautiful.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, in my home, I know it's kind of like the first thing I thought I was like, oh, the cheesy answer. I was like, oh, my husband and my two daughters, but they're not for people. But honestly, like it would be similar. Like I have some special pieces of jewelry from, like my grandma and um, mom and stuff like that in my safe. And um, gosh, I don't know what else. I feel like like we have a album of like our wedding pictures, even though I like they're all in the cloud somewhere. Um,
Oh, that's right. You are so smart and you digitized everything. And
yeah,
I said when I learned that I needed to do that, and I never
yeah,
did.
and like make copies and put them on like hard drives. I'm trying to
Mhm.
do that with like pictures of the girls and stuff. I feel like there would be something. See, I don't really even know what else.
It's such a practical answer, right? Because you're like, what could I really not live without?
I would honestly probably say like my computer because it has all the copies of it,
Yeah.
all the things. But it's mostly like photos and
Yeah, or like our
yeah,
fire safe, like we have a portable
yeah.
fire safe that we got after the January fires. And I
Mm,
was like, okay, well, at least you can like pick it up and carry it, and it has the passports in it and like Jude's birth certificate. And probably shouldn't be saying this on
yeah,
a public platform.
I know.
So if you need to come to my house,
It is actually not even in my home. It's in, Bahamas and
oh,
we have
when we first got married, we had a what do you call it? The like when you go to the bank or the post office and you have your own
oh
security
yeah,
deposit box.
safe
And
deposit box, I
yeah, and I
think.
used to feel so cool because you need like two
I think
people
that
to
is
get
rad.
in there, and maybe
Yeah,
we'll get one of those again,
yeah. Maybe we'll get one together and leave like a time.
just
Do you
in
ever do
case.
you guys ever do that when you're kids, or you like make the time capsule and you like bury it in your
Yeah.
yard?
Oh my God, that'd be so cool.
Right? It'd be so cool to find
Yeah.
somebody's. But yeah, I don't know. I think that just like I don't really have any clothes that are of like super significance, it'd probably just be like jewelry, passport, maybe
Yeah.
computer, get out the door
Yeah.
with my people.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'd be heartbroken though because I love this house. Spent a lot of time building it.
I know. I was just gonna say it took a lot to get there.
Yep. Okay. What chance encounter changed your life forever?
Hmm.
Chance encounter.
Well, I guess this is so crazy, but like meeting the ex-boyfriend who I eventually met, the girl that he was cheating on me with, which led to like all of these relationships that I would have never thought,
Yeah, actually.
like the trajectory of my life after that, and it was totally unplanned and just so
It
weird.
is kind of chill. It's like
Yeah,
a very unique part of your story too.
it
I remember when
is.
you first explained that to me, and I was like,
It was so
"What?"
weird. Yeah, it was so weird. It's just like you happen to meet somebody at like a bar and then it turns into a thing that turns into another thing that turns into another thing. And I mean, if that hadn't have happened, I wouldn't have met my husband. I wouldn't be best friends with you or your sister. Like, it's kind of wild.
It is kind of wild. Chance encounter. Well, I would say like I ran into my friend Jade, who we
Hmm.
were like internet friends, and she was in touch with Andrew and knew that like Andrew had asked her if she knew me. We ran into each other at this yoga event, like maybe like a day after I had broken up with another boyfriend. And she like literally ran up to me and was like, "Are you single? Like, I know a guy that like wants to meet you." And I was like, "This is the most bizarre thing, but I'm like not going to bars. I'm not on the apps."
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't understand why you're not dating this person, but like, okay, here's my number. Um, and then it kind of turned into, it was Andrew and we like eventually started
It
dating,
kind of
but
turned into this little thing.
but it's so funny because I'm like, I call that a chance encounter because in my
Yeah.
mind, I was like, I remember when I found out it was him because another person had already tried to like set us up.
Hmm.
I was like, the universe is trying to bring this man into my life. Like, I have to follow.
Yeah.
Um, even though I didn't call him back for like 2 weeks after he left a message on my phone, but sorry. Um, he I don't know if he would see it as like a chance encounter because he was like, "Oh no, I was just being really
Yeah.
persistent."
You
Felt
know,
fancy to
it's funny. Kev was like messaging me on Facebook for like a
me.
year before. Yeah.
Oh,
I
Kevin.
know. But the crazy thing, one of the, isn't it weird when you think about like how we communicate now? Like if somebody
Yeah,
messages you on a platform, like you kind of like see it right away. Whereas then, like it wasn't intentional. I was just like, this is not like a major form of communication. So I wasn't ever checking.
yeah.
But apparently he was like, oh no, I was like trying to like, I didn't have your phone number at the time. And like, yeah. And so like, what weird. I would not survive on dating apps now. It'd be so weird.
I mean, I think I like opened them at some point. Like
Mhm.
I was like a serial relationship person, but like I feel like I got on them, and then I would just get like so overwhelmed.
Mm.
I couldn't maintain more than one
With the
conversation at the same.
requests.
Well, I don't know. I don't really how I got a ton of requests, but it's like I would start like a conversation with
Mm.
somebody, and then like another person would start a conversation. It was like I couldn't remember what I had talked about. I'm like, I don't want to sit on my phone and have a
Yeah.
conversation. Like, I'd rather just like make sure you're not a serial killer
Yeah,
and like
you
me.
also can't like you can't catch a vibe. Like
I know. Not my
not
style.
yeah.
Kind of old school. But I also have plenty of friends that have like gotten married from
Mhm.
being on the app. So kudos to them and their skills. But I think I was a little too ADHD for
Hmm.
app life. Let's do another would you rather. Let's see. What do we got? Oh no, we actually already did that one. Would you rather be the funniest or the smartest person in the room?
That's actually so hard. Well, my answer's sort of deviant.
I'm gonna have the same answer as you.
I feel like funny, but I feel like it's because a lot of people who are really funny are also really smart.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I think that like I'd say funny because I really think that like in order to be like not like dumb like slapstick funny, but
Yeah.
like really funny, I think those people have like it's like a level of intelligence that it's like
Mhm.
you have the smarts, but then you're using
Mhm.
it in a way that can like relax people,
Mhm.
like
Mhm. You have like
pull
the
people
emotional
together.
intelligence to use
Yeah.
your actual bookishness.
Yeah, like witty funny
Mhm. Mhm.
in a non-annoying way.
Mhm. I think you're really funny.
Thanks, Kishi. I think you're so
I
funny. I love
really I
it when we
think
hang out.
I think
I think I'm kind of like cheesy funny, which I'm okay with. Like I'm
no,
not I can't be like,
you've got some
let
good
me tell you
singers.
guys about this story and then like, walk people through like the story. Like I don't have that kind of like I don't have pacing.
Oh, you know who does?
Who?
Kev is like so good at that, and he catches
Kev
you
has
off.
pacing.
He catches you
Mm,
so off guard. Like you think he's gonna
yeah.
say something like really ridiculous, or like he has like this Valley Guy shtick where you're like, oh, he's not being serious, and then he just like deadpans this whole joke, and you're like, what the heck?
He's pretty captivating like
Yeah,
that. There's a
it's
purity there.
annoying.
This is a good one. Would you rather not have arms or legs and why?
Oh my.
Why am I laughing? I not like an answer for you. Just like in a world where you just like it wasn't by tragedy or genetics. I don't know.
Mm, I guess I really would like to keep my arms, because
You
then
have nice.
I could get prosthetic legs and then I would have arms to help me put them on.
Yeah, I think there was actually one guy with like at least one prosthetic leg that Archana was like trying to hook me up with at some
Oh my
point. He was like
God.
so hot and dynamic, honestly.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Okay, before
I could be taller too. So maybe that's another
yeah,
I
you
could
could
just
adjust your
yeah.
prosthetic
Yeah,
legs.
I'd be like,
I kind of feel like because at first I was gonna say arms because I'm like I really love a hug.
mm,
I need that feeling. But then like legs, like I just really love the feeling of being able to just like walk or run or like jump. I don't know. I think that whenever I'm feeling really like I don't want to work out or
mhm.
whatever, I always just try to remind myself, I'm like, there are so many people that would like kill to be able to like these legs can do crazy things. Like it can take me all over the place. And
Yeah,
like
your
I
legs are
wouldn't.
insane. You
Legs in
you
general,
have some great legs.
Thanks, girl.
You have some great legs.
I'm starting to have some knee pain, but
Me too. It's the We're not, I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, I'm not going to start thinking I'm old because we're really
no,
young.
we're really in our prime. My
Yeah.
mom, this is a funny thing. My mom always says to me, I don't know if she's going to get mad at me. She's like, "You're in your sexual prime."
I love that Jenny said that. Can you secretly record her saying that so we can save it
Like, so you know,
as
because
a
I'm 35.
soundbite?
And she's
Yeah.
like,
You're like doing
she's
the
like, that's
math in your head.
fact.
Like,
There's research about that. And it's like, okay. No, mom, I don't think I'm old. I think
yeah.
actually, I think that this like sandwich generation moment where it's like, I've got young kids, I've got my parents around,
hmm
like I've got my health. Like
It's
this
the
is a really special
best.
moment.
It's
Just
the best
really
time, even when it's
loving.
hard.
Yeah. It's full. It's a very full moment of
hmm
life, and I love it. If you could never work again, how would you spend your time?
Hmm. I mean, I think I would enjoy I would garden, I would write, I would paint, I would spend time with my son. I would make more kids. But I would be sad not to have some kind of work because I feel like work can be really fulfilling.
Yeah, I feel like I would still do some version of
Yeah.
this, but maybe in like an event way, like with like a local community
Yeah.
where it's just like kind of interviewing, but like bringing people together and
hmm
really like being like a curator of people.
hmm
I feel like I would do a lot of like entertaining like that. And then I would just spend a lot of time with my family and then just travel like crazy. I just would want to see
Yes.
like every place in the
Yes,
world
that's
and
such
just
a good point.
constantly
hmm
like not just traveling and like staying in resorts and stuff like that, but like going places and like understanding cultures, like I don't know, just really
Like
like immersing
staying a
myself for
month
long.
in a new city. Yeah.
I would love that. Okay. Oh, look at our, it's almost an hour already
I
passed.
know. We're coming up on our last couple of
Right, a
questions.
couple more. Okay. What opportunity, what opportunity for love or money have you given up? Do you regret it now?
Um, hmm. Well, I walked away from what would have been a very big career at this last company that I was helping build up, and I do not regret it. I left, I think I've talked about this before. I left another private concierge, like healthcare system that was, we were building different locations in different cities for our high net worth individuals, and it initially started out as a very cool like startup style space where we were doing something kind of cutting edge in the hopes that this would like trickle down and make everyone's lives better. But I don't know, maybe it was COVID and everybody just being like stuck in one place, but like everyone's worst qualities came out. And there was a lot of like lateral violence, a lot of like top down aggression. And it didn't feel good to like work with people who weren't trying to do right by the people on their team. And I'm not even saying that just like personally, like you'd see things happening and you just be like, that doesn't feel very good. Like we're not
Yeah.
supposed to treat each other like that. So I don't regret that. It was, you know, it's a company that's still doing great. Like there's a lot of good people that still work there. But ultimately I had to just kind of like follow my heart and do something that was more aligned with what I felt my integrity was and what I think integrity should look like for myself and for the people I work with. So
Yeah.
I do not regret that.
I know. I feel like I regret very little at this
Hmm.
point. But I've definitely like given up. I've had like a lot of like turning point moments where like I had a certain, like, especially career
Hmm.
trajectory, but also relationships that were like, you know, this is where this would be going, and I was like, whoa, that's not for me. Or whether it was like, leaving my investment management job,
Hmm.
um, which like I like quit without another job lined up because I was just like ill. I had
Hmm.
had my appendix out. I had shingles in that job. But again, like I don't regret leaving that job. I also don't regret having that job, even though it wasn't right for me because like now I've realized at this point, I'm like, oh, I know so much about like just personal, wealth management, legal documents, just how to have really intelligent financial and legal conversations. Um, and then also like I left like a pretty, strong position at Aloe Yoga, right before they like popped, like really in
Hmm.
the building stages of Aloe. But like I had a great experience there, and I left because I received basically a full ride scholarship to business school to build Meet Bridget. So I don't regret that either because I really feel like, people might say like, oh, but like wouldn't that have been like a dream job to like stay with Aloe? I'm like, in some ways, but you know, building this together and like the experiences we've had since then and the
Hmm.
time we've been able to do this, like I don't think I would have been able to do this and do that. So
Yeah.
no regrets.
No
What's that movie
regrets.
where it's like or the guy has
We Are
is
the
it the girl that
Millers. He has
yeah
it. I think it's across his
no
chest or
regrets.
God, that
Yeah.
would be so funny. So funny.
So good. All right. Do we have like one more? What should I
Yeah.
do? A
Is
deep
there
one?
like
A
a
value
a life one or actually just
Mm,
mix it up?
I know. Well, okay. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Oh, I have to think for a second. You want to go first?
Gosh, I've like literally received so much good advice. Um, I feel like a really relevant piece of advice for me has come from my mom.
Mhm.
Sometimes when I think it's good to have stillness, but I think that I can't remember what this phrase is, but it's something to the effect of like idleness is the devil's playground.
Mhm.
Um, like allowing yourself to kind of get stuck in inaction. And for me, usually the inaction is a result of analysis paralysis, where I'm like, I gotta like think through every scenario first. I gotta plan it out perfectly so it comes out perfectly. Really just creates like this like state of like stillness. My mom has reminded me that time and time again. She's like, just get moving, just
Yeah.
get moving and like do something, start the thing. Like it doesn't have to be perfect or even like physically. She's like, go out, move your body. Like I'm such a kinesthetic person. I really feel like that reminder to myself that just like being idle is where the comparison comes in, where the self-doubt comes in, just like all of the honestly, like whatever you would categorize as the devil, but like just the things that are kind of self-destructive, I feel like are when I'm not taking action.
Yeah. Actually, it's so funny because my dad, a lot of the things that live in my mind rent free are things that my dad has told me over the years. And I was gonna say something. There's two things that are really, really similar to what your mom said, which I think is brilliant. I think one of them's actually from AA meetings because my dad's like 30 plus years clean and sober.
Amazing.
But he would always say fear is false evidence appearing real.
Mm.
And so that always resonates with me when I'm like very fearful of something, or if I'm worried about how I'm going to perform or worried about how I'm going to start something. Um, it's kind of clinical sounding, but at the same time, I'm just like, no, it's usually not real. Whatever is scaring me isn't like a real thing. Sometimes there are real things to consider that make you pause and in terms of how you do something or how you start something. But fear itself is just an emotion. And then he would also say that we're sharks, and sharks, if they stop swimming, they die. Like my dad basically said it.
That's basically what my mom was
Yeah,
saying.
it just sounds like so much more. I mean, my dad's like this old hippie, right? So it sounds like so different than your lovely mama saying it in such a peaceful way. It's
Kind
essentially
of.
the
It's like
same
this like
message.
this woman that grew up Hindu, like talking about
Yeah.
the idleness is the devil's playground. It's just like a very like old school like religious idea,
Yeah.
but like you know,
Yeah.
it's just the idea of just like
Yeah, you just keep moving, you keep
it's the same
putting
thing like a
yeah.
rolling stone gathers no moss. It's all the
Mhm,
kind of the same
mhm, mhm.
idea. But I also feel like what you were saying about fear. I took this meditation class, and they were talking about how worry and like anticipation of bad things
Mhm.
is like shooting yourself with an additional arrow. That it's like when we have problematic things, it's like we're getting shot with an arrow,
Mhm,
right? In that
mhm.
moment, we are shot. But then when you are worrying about something before it happens, you're shooting yourself with those arrows before anything is even happening.
Yeah.
So it's like things are going to happen anyway. Like we're going to like
Yeah.
in moments they're going to get us. But then if you're constantly worrying, you're going to have like three arrows in your side when you're like you hit the thing that actually is hard for you, which is usually not the thing you're worrying about in the
Yeah.
first place. And kind of like visualizing worry that way that it's really like it's just shooting yourself in the side with an arrow
Mhm.
um, is kind of a helpful visual for me because I tend to I also like think about really positive, dreamy scenarios a lot too, but like the worrisome scenarios are just like not
Yeah. It's not even
always that like they're productive. They like, you know, inform your next move, but
but you can't let it inform the whole thing.
yeah,
You can't. Which is easier to say than it is to practice, but
I know, especially with kids in the
yeah,
picture. I
then
feel
you
like it's
build
a whole new. I feel like just when I was getting good at like facing my fears and stuff as an
Mhm.
individual, then you have kids and it's like, but my little like this little piece of my heart is going off into summer camp or this or that and I'm like I can't control how her interactions go and what if she has a hard day and it's like
The
it's
intrusive
literally
thoughts
it's
are
like that
insane.
they're
I'm just
insane.
always so worried about Jude's physical body because he's such a daredevil that I'm like, send him through all the emotional turmoil. Like we can deal with that. Like just let him come home with all his pieces intact all the time. Like I just am always so worried.
Especially as it's arms because we like his arms.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, God, the things that you end up worrying about.
But it's funny because it's like just that, like the physical daredevil stuff is probably what's going to make him very like physically self-aware
Mm-hmm.
and safe
Oh,
long term.
he's
You know?
so meticulous. We've been playing with Legos and I'm like, wow, you're just very for a 2-year-old. You're like really so tuned in and so articulate with your little tiny fingers. Did I just want to kiss and snuggle and
I know.
eat? Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
The best.
Oh,
Is that our last one? Or do you want another?
let's do one more.
Front of the deck, back of the deck, middle of the deck.
Let's try front of the deck.
Okay. Very front?
Okay.
No, let's do number 2. That's dumb. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm sorry. These are would you rather ones. They're kind
Okay,
of
this is
dumb.
the last one.
Okay, this is kind of telling. Would you rather be slightly late or super early?
Slightly late. You want elaboration? I feel like
Yeah,
I'm the person that needs to utilize every single minute.
I agree.
Every single
My
minute.
husband will literally like this will like shake him in his bones because I think it's his most like agitating thing about me. But I'm like I am sometimes late, slightly. I'm never like crazy late.
Mhm.
Like I don't really miss things that often. Like I show up, I am gracious, I apologize, like I'm sincere, but it's like that happens maybe like 2 out of
Mhm.
10 things that I'm doing, and all the other ones I'm like right on time for,
Yeah.
maybe slightly early. Like I don't need to be like 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
Like that's just a waste of time,
No.
you know?
Exactly.
I'm like if I'm showing up like 20, 30 minutes early for something, it means I'm not maximizing my time.
Exactly.
And I really enjoy like Tetrising my day into like which is maybe like an issue
It's a
that
blessing and a
we work on in
curse. Like
therapy, but like
yeah.
I really enjoy like just squeezing every drop out of the
Yeah.
fruit, you know?
Out of the day. It's like if those 20 minutes, like that's so many snuggles with my son before I leave for work. It's so many hugs. It's making breakfast. Like there's so many things you can do. And to be
Yeah.
fair, usually I'm on time, but
Yes.
like I'm not the person that's going to be like an hour early to something just because.
No. No, like if it's like an interview or something, like yeah, like
Yeah.
I want to show up early,
Hmm.
but you know, like a dinner reservation, I'm not gonna get stressed out if I'm 5 minutes, 10 minutes late for a dinner reservation. Like
Hmm.
they're gonna be fine. Yes, I want to be
Yeah, like you're
courteous.
respectful, but
Like
it's a
we're gonna
different
stress
level
out.
of if it,
Yeah,
not importance either. I think it would be just yeah, respecting every second of the day
yeah.
with something.
I think as long as there's like a consciousness of like, okay, like what is, am I meeting another person? Like,
Mhm.
am I late for like a meeting with someone or a special
Mhm.
lunch for
Mhm.
someone or they're like very busy and okay,
Mhm.
yeah. But if it's like something that's like a movie,
Yeah.
like we're going to a movie and we're a little late for the movie, it's like, it's okay. I think the consciousness of what you're
Yeah.
late to.
Yeah.
But yeah, bottom line, we're like late 2 out of 10 times,
Well said.
maybe more.
Well said.
Well, this is really fun.
Yes.
I feel like we'll do another one of these, but who knows if we are just having a great time, and if anyone enjoyed this. So let us know
Mhm.
if you want more. I feel like we should link these cards because they're kind of fun, and maybe we'll try We're Not Really Strangers next time.
Yeah.
But just wanted to give you guys a different type of episode, a little
Something in the
mix
spirit of
and
building,
hang,
communicating,
a
articulating.
little
Mhm.
summertime hang.
Yeah. We love you
I love you.
all. I love you, Ashi. Thanks everyone for joining us again for another episode.
And we'll be back next week with another interview.
And that's our show. If you liked what you heard today, please like, subscribe to, follow, and share Meet Bridget with your circle. The best way to help our work here is to rate and review our podcast. We're listening and constantly working to build something helpful for you. Catch you next time.